Much for your time. Good morning to you.
Sana, good morning.
I hope you're well.
The grace is sufficient.
Great. First, let's start with because you combine two things: a background in the security service and a background in law. So, first, an education on exactly what the special prosecutor was doing. Was it just being unfair to Ken Ofori Atta, or is this normal practice?
Okay. Sana, very good morning to your listeners and your viewers and other platforms. Um, with my background, I would say that whatever he did was expected, or is a standard way of doing things. Under normal circumstance, there are two modes of getting someone to appear before more or less an investigative body or security institution. You can either invite or arrest. That is, if you have the arresting power, you can arrest or invite. So, for instance, the police sometimes you hear that they have invited someone to appear before them. And then when you appear on invitation and then there's a need for them to arrest you, they will then pronounce to you whilst you are before them that you are under arrest. And they'll give you your rights and what and why they are arresting you also. In the case of Ken Ofori Atta, he wasn't available. And if you look at, if you adjust yourself with what the SP told us, he said he first received a communique from his lawyers indicating that he's out of jurisdiction and more or less not going to return or doesn't know when he's going to return. Then at some point, another communique came indicating that, he's not well, that is why he's out of jurisdiction, so he may be coming when he's fit. So they brought some kind of medical excuse. You see, the challenge is that you put him in a very tight corner to believe you because your earlier statement was saying that you are not going to return anytime soon. Or you may even decide not to return at all. So if you later come to say that, you are out of the jurisdiction because of some health issues, any rational thinking human being will not believe you. So I agree with what Kisi was trying to do, that he doesn't believe what he's saying, and that's why he's putting him on warrant of arrest or wanted list. It is not out of place to have done that. And like he said that day, he has two options. You either appear on your own or you are compelled to appear. And by compelling you to appear, if you're out of the jurisdiction, there are several ways of getting you back into the country. And one of the modes was what he did by declaring you wanted, publicizing you or publishing you across board. And by virtue of that, you may get the Interpol and other good institutions to get you from wherever you are. Because getting you is not difficult. Once you are exiting the country, your records are captured. When you get to the country that you are going into or your destination, the border post, they also pick data of you. Where you are going to, your house number, every other information that they need, they pick from you at the border post. So if they need you or if they want to get you back into your home country, it's not difficult at all. They can always fish you out. And moreover, you're also a public figure that you are very well known. So by putting you out there, it's just going to put you at very serious risk. So I wasn't surprised that I think yesterday I heard that he has gotten back to the SP indicating that he's going to come back. And I think he has even given a timeline as to when he's going to come back. So if that is the case, I'm sure that is the reason why it informed the SP to take him off the wanted list, hoping that he's going to respect his own words and do as he has said. If not, I mean, taking him back onto the wanted list would not be a difficulty.
But as a lawyer too, do you understand why the lawyers of Ken Ofori Atta and many people who spoke for him seem offended by the tag of fugitive that was placed on him? They keep insisting that we've been in conversations with you over this matter. How can you then declare our client a fugitive? Does that add up for you as a private legal practitioner?
Every lawyer is always serving the best interest of his client. So I wouldn't expect them to be happy with that statement. It's a normal thing that for any lawyer to do. But the reality of the case is that, you see, at some point in life, certain matters are not dealt with emotions, but the reality. Even if Ken was supposed to be here, and Ken had appeared before the SP, whatever statement he's going to give to the SP, whatever statement he's going to write for the SP or say to the SP cannot be dictated by the lawyers. No. You have a limit that you can go. Even if you are sitting next to him, there's a limit that you can go. You cannot do everything for him. Yes, you are the lawyer. Yes, you are his counsel. But you can't be saying everything for him. You can't be writing everything for him. Certain things must be said or answered by him and him only. So yes, fighting for his interest is fine. But it's not everything that the lawyers can do for Ken Ofori Atta. There are some of the things Ken Ofori Atta must come to do it for himself or by himself.
But the time period that has been given to has raised eyebrows. We are in February, May, all the way to May for somebody with standing investigation to come and answer questions. Are you not giving him too much liberty? Is he not being given too much liberty?
Oh, you see, before he will call him, he's still doing his background checks or doing his investigations. Investigations can be done out, in your absence. So every information that you need to gather, they can still be gathering. But the point is that you're coming to him is that you are either coming to corroborate whatever he has said or maybe denying certain things that he has gathered. By the end of the day, if he thinks that he has very good evidence or enough evidence to prosecute you, he can then charge you for court and then put you before court. But because you seems to be playing some kind of hide and seek with him, I wouldn't be surprised he will first try to get you to be detained under some kind of remand by the court with the view that you went out. You said you were not going to come anytime soon, or your return is indefinite. And then at some point you were saying that you are not well. Because of this, he found it very difficult to believe that if you have been put on bail, you will stay in. So he may ask that the court gives you, put you on remand. On the other hand, he may ask the court that they should seize your passport and every other thing that can permit you to travel outside the country, so that you cannot have access to travel anywhere, and then be available for investigations and prosecutions where necessary. So it's not a matter of giving him too much liberty, but at the end of the day, once you have been able to gather enough information or evidence about him, even if he's going to come, I'm just giving that as an example, even if he's going to come somewhere, even at the end of the year, one thing about criminal matters is that when you are acquitted and discharged, your matter is still pending. So nothing changes. You will still be held accountable, or you will still be held to face the law, no matter the time that you appear. But I think it will be in your best interest to appear early, deal with this matter early, and then if by the grace of God you are able to get yourself exonerated, you are free. If not, then you face the necessary consequences.
Can he be put back on the list?
Oh, of course. If he doesn't appear, he can do that. If he doesn't appear, he can do that. Another one, the SP is like it's like he is indirectly like the police. Anytime we want you, anyhow we want you, we can always get you. It's not difficult at all.
I see. Then there seemed to have been some confusion the day before the SP held his press conference. Initially, they said his office was the one that sent people to the house of Ken Ofori Atta. We are now finding out that people from national security actually had an arrest warrant they were going to execute. Whilst the SP has withdrawn his own, can people from national security also issue a separate arrest warrant for Ken Ofori Atta?
The thing is that you can be having like 10 cases with 10 institutions, and any one of them can be doing their own thing and having you left, right, center. I don't know who is handling that part of the national security, but if let's say the Attorney General is also doing some kind of prosecution about Ken or on Ken, and he needed that kind of arrest to be done, he could have used the police or the national security to get him arrested, or even the now NIB or formerly BNI to get you arrested. And it should have still been, and your matter may be different from, or that matter may be different from whatever the SP is also handling. So the same person can be having matters with the BNI, he can be having matters with the social prosecutor, he can be having matters with the Attorney General, and then you can be, you'll be dangling in between these institutions. But either way, they all have charges against you, and you have to answer all of them. It's not like because a special prosecutor has come for you or is looking for you on certain matters, National security cannot also be looking for you because at the end of the day, SP is looking for me. No, one doesn't override the other. It depends on the matter that they said that they are all having the same issue. Then in that case, they have to consolidate and let one person do it. But if not that and the matters are different, then either way, either party or either institution can have you at all times.
And in fact, there are those who have raised questions in the special prosecutor for essentially describing those who went into dismissing them the action as roguish, like they are rogue elements among others. That he had no business doing that. As long as it's not his office, all he needed to do is to come and say that my office was not the one that I do not know anything about it, and leave it and not make any further commentary, because he's not the only one who has the authority to investigate somebody in who perhaps has done something wrong. Do you agree with those who say he went overboard?
Well, I think that kind of description given to them or given to the action, it wasn't given to them rather, but I think it was given to the action. For that, I disagree with him, because just as that argument that you just cited indicates that as I've explained, you can be having matters with the police, you can be having different matters also with the BNI or the NIB. Once the matters are not the same, because you cannot be punished or be tried on in different courts and on the same charge. No, that one is not done that way. But if, let's say, this one is trying you for stealing, the other is trying you for robbery, they are two different matters altogether. The evidence for both are not the same. You understand? So if
yes,
national security is doing something different or having a different charge or case against Ofori Atta, and Mr. Ejabin is also having a different matter or different charge, he has outlined his own. I think it's about 4 different cases or 5 different cases, if I'm right. So if he has outlined his own, and then at the end of the day, you are not going to arrest him, or you decided not to go to his house, but to use to place him on public notice that he's under warrant. He's wanted and needs to be arrested anywhere that we find him. That is your modus of operandi. On the other hand, also the other security agency who also needed Ofori Atta can have a different modus of operandi of getting him. Like I said, they could have sat in their office and invite him to come, and they can also appear before your house or come to your house and get you arrested. Either way is permissible. The only thing is that if for instance they want to search his house, then in that case they need warrant of a search warrant to be able to search his premises or his house. But with arrest, you can be arrested with or without warrant. It's allowed.
I see. Let's move on to something else that you are involved in. So about the security agency, specifically the police. I think somewhere last week a committee was inaugurated. We understand in fact your name came up as secretary to the committee. They're supposed to, I believe, probe last minute recruitments into the police. Did I get that right?
You did. Partly. When the part that I'm the secretary to the committee, yes, it's true. But the probe is not just into the police, but rather into all agencies under the Ministry of Interior. So it includes the prison service, fire service, immigration, NADMO, Small Arms Commission, Gaming Commission, and others. All the institutions under the Ministry of Interior are currently under investigation, especially or specifically on their recruitment exercise that they have conducted or they did conduct in the very last few days. You remember the Honorable Chief of Staff issued a communique to all public sector agency heads asking for details of persons who were placed on the payrolls after 7th December or from 7th December. Most of them or most of the institutions under this agency were part of them, or almost all of them. Yeah, not even almost all of them were part of this institution that the Chief of Staff was requesting such data from. Their responses were given back to the ministry or through the ministry to the Chief of Staff. And some of them, their responses and what we have seen, they were not really the same. But we, as a committee, we are supposed to investigate and then bring out our recommendations and our reports. We were given a 2 weeks mandate. I think we are almost exhausting our first week. Today, God willing, yesterday the Ghana Prison Service appeared before us The Ghana Police Service appeared on Monday, and today Ghana National Fire Service is supposed to appear. In fact, it was supposed to have appeared this morning 11, but I think we have a crashing program. They have another one, something else also. So they've been permitted to appear a bit later or a bit late during but still they are going to appear today for them to also be scrutinized, so that we assess whether or not the recruitment that they have conducted, was it fair, was it transparent, and does it go by the due process? Because we all know the due process. As you rightly indicated earlier on, I've been a police officer before, and in 2005 when I was going through my enlistment process, I know the process that I went through. I didn't go through anybody's protocol or somebody bringing me a letter in my house to go to training or to go for medicals and then we jump into training or escaping exams writing and other things. I went to Kumasi Patasi Police Training School or Police Depot, went through the screening processes, that is taking height and body selections, documentations. Then the next day at Patasi MA Primary School, which is right behind the police depot, I wrote my exams. Some few months after the exams, the results was published at the regional police headquarters, Kumasi Edum Central, or as they call it, Central Police Station. The regional headquarters, the results was published there. I went there, saw my name on the list. Later got a letter for medicals. Went for medicals at the police, hospital. And after that, I was scheduled for training at a later time. And I went to Ofori Atta Police Training School and passed out as a police constable, posted to Tema region as my first region in 2005-2006. So, I mean, like I've outlined, you can see the processes that you go through to come out or to be able to be enlisted into the, for instance, the police service. And this system or this process is nothing different from the others. I mean, the others also follow the same processes. So the question is, these persons, thousands of people who are currently in training and are also pending to be, asked to appear before training schools, did they go through these processes? Is that what, or is that how they were recruited? So these are the things that we are finding out. And obviously, we will either ascertain them to be the truth or the fallacies behind them.
So what you are okay? So what is the probe intended to do?
Like I said, I mean to assess first of all the integrity of the process that they said they used. So the integrity of it, the fairness of it. Because for instance, if you remember, let me take you back a bit. The immediate past Interior Minister, Honorable Henry Korte, was on radio all over saying that, oh, they are doing backlog recruitment. And I don't know if you remember, Sana.
Vividly.
Yes. But to the understanding of any person who understands these processes, if you say there's a backlog recruitment, backlog means that everyone who has gone through this entire process to the point of medicals, but has not been called for training. He has passed everything, but he has not been called for training. But not me who applied and didn't get through or didn't go through this process. You are calling me backlog. How can my own be backlog? And I remember that time very well that on several platforms that I spoke on, I disagreed with him and telling that, come on, you can't be saying this. Some of us, you have been through the system and we know how things work. What you are saying is not the case. But I think that maybe because we were in opposition, our words were not relevant to them, so they didn't take it. But today, unfortunately for you, you are no more. So we need to assess whether the process that you used was fair. Again, was it fair? If you prevented other people who are also eligible and could have applied or could have come in for this exercise, if by certain captions or phrases you get them exempted or you get them prevented from being recruited, are you being fair? And even those that you said you recruited, are they people who are really qualified? Did they go through the requisite processes that I outlined earlier? We are assessing all these things, and at the end of the day, we are going to give our recommendations.
I see. And you said this is your first week. Is the first week over?
No, it's not over. I think we started last Friday. We renovated last Thursday, so we started. Our first sitting was last week Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So that was our first week. I think we received a refugee board, small arms commission, and some few other people. And I think gaming commission. These three came last Friday. So Monday was Ghana Police Service. Yesterday Ghana Prison Service, and today is Ghana National Fire Service. Tomorrow is Ghana Immigration Service, and I think Friday will be NACOP also. So we are taking it in that order. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Leonard colleague. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, na pombo kodie.
Senior man.
Yeah.
I would try Boko now, sir.
Boko say ye minti unkan you. Ye minti unkan secretary nanka. We so nka o wa frame nka me so menya secretary to the secretary.
Said empire na you go aye boy. What I remember say o can be woman be aba come na.
Na we mi bisa say mo wie mo adwuma na say eno anu no wahu. Na say no committee no mu gu na.
Oh, say committee the purpose of it and say yeah be say adwuma ni wie dia adwuma ni wie ana say. Yeah, we know that say be a minister be can say be a say be before do on be say be a we are always at the service of the country and as well as the government. In general, you know, we have been through this from the transition time. Transition time, you know, the subcommittee on interior.
Okay.
And also Sarah. And you know, I think I was not asked, but for instance, we said it has been in the news lately. Said we say Ghana Police Service, helicopters, BM say a kick or their old helicopters. All these things were some of the things I know during the transition time. So, Ghana Police Service, one 3 wing to say army and as a Ghana forces. Into one more those who are on the land, or only police for the home with the Biana. And more the marine version, almost who in so near the other. And more the air wing. But under, the past between, from the.
You have just 1 minute remaining. You can down.
Well, like I said, a big thank you to Lawyer Alexander Chumberima for speaking to us this morning. Perhaps a conversation that will continue some other time. In the meantime, let me remind you of Hisense. Hisense is best known for all your electronic appliance needs.